Hamnet creates something that is rarely seen in movies these days. Hamnet captures an intimately quiet melancholy, a rich world despite being tame, powerful moments despite being small. For the powerfully intimate moments that are portrayed in this 2025 film, such for example as we are watching Jessie Buckley's Agnes Hathaway look out from her private space, that being an intimate garden in the woods outside Stratford-upon-Avon. As we watch transfixed and fully immersed in the scene, we watch Jessie Buckley stare up towards the sky. It is incredibly intimate scenes like this one that define the raw, visceral power of this film. Scenes like this recreate something so powerful and magical that replicate memories of my own childhood. When I was a child, looking out from the garden of my own childhood home, staring at the trees, the leaves, the sky, and the clouds, and pondering upon the nature of existence. And when you're young and naive, at moments like that, your immediate surroundings, that garden becomes all of the world to you, and it felt like all of existence to me, the only thing that existed at that young and naive age. And full credit where it's due to director Chloe Zhao for recreating such beautiful, magical, and resonant scenes of raw cinematic power. These quiet moments of pure beauty and of pure existence and pure reflection upon reality is what ultimately drives Hamnet as a film and makes this film such a remarkable success. Of course, we know from history that Shakespeare's wife was actually named Anne Hathaway. No, not that Anne Hathaway, the other Anne Hathaway. So why is Shakespeare's wife named Agnes in this film? Well, it has to do with the history of 16th century England. At that time, paper records weren't very reliable, and transcription errors often meant that the same name was recorded with different spelling, and as a result, different name spellings were used interchangeably, and as such, some names often became interchangeable with one another. This reasoning is the same reason why Hamnet, which is the name of this film, is also effectively interchangeable with the name Hamlet, meaning the now infamous play Hamlet is revealed to be actually named after Shakespeare's son, Hamnet, revealing the story of Hamlet as a kind of memoir to Shakespeare's son. This film explores the couple William Shakespeare and Agnes Hathaway's relationship with their children, all of which ultimately served to inspire Shakespeare to write Hamlet. As we know from history, Shakespeare's son, the titular character of this story, Hamnet, tragically passed away from illness at a very early age. And once you understand that Hamlet is more than just a story about Danish royalty, but is also named after Shakespeare's son who died at an early age, the story of Hamlet grows meaning of ever greater poignancy. Ultimately, this film is an examination of what inspires writers to write. If you are at all a curious scholarly mind like myself, you would know that ideas, stories, and writing, or at least the very best of writing and the very best of ideas, come from somewhere, a spark, an inspiration, a reflection onto something deep and fundamental about nature, about reality, about dreams, about life, and or about loss, and or about death. This film depicts intimate scenes in the grassy English woodlands around Shakespeare's home where he meets his wife, Agnes. It is also the place where his wife gives birth. The garden, the woods in this film, is both the site of first love and the giver of life. The quiet melancholy of the woods, the peaceful and surreal existence of the garden. These scenes were just so beautiful and powerful to watch. Not only was the cinematography exceptionally well shot in these scenes, but also the directing by Chloe Zhao perfectly captured the raw symbolic power of the woods and of nature. When nature dies, it goes into the ground, only to respawn new life. The garden here in this film holds the key to this movie. The garden is internal and regrows. But are humans also reborn? For humans also came out of nature. But are we reborn also? Quiet intimacy is how I would describe the sweetest moments of Hamnet. But there's another side to this movie, that of dread, that of loss. Once again, Shakespeare's son dies, as has tragically been written in the history, and this great sense of loss is powerfully and relentlessly portrayed by Irish actress Jessie Buckley. I almost had a tear in my eyes watching Buckley come to tears over her son's premature death. In this pre-industrial world of 16th century England, themes of witchcraft and superstition run rampant throughout society. Women initially bemoan Agnes Hathaway as a witch when they first discover her relationship with Shakespeare. Sadly, to many in these superstitious times, not all superstitions are found to have later been made without substance. As for some, the death of her and Shakespeare's son would not be the result of bad fortune, but of superstitious reasoning. Though this film is about what inspired Shakespeare to write Hamlet, it is not really Shakespeare himself, who is portrayed by Paul Mescal, who is the central focus of this film. It is rather Jessie Buckley as the loyal and caring mother of her and Shakespeare's children. And I have to say, Jessie Buckley delivered a phenomenally powerful acting performance, one that I will never forget. I used to say for the longest time that Hilary Swank's acting in $1 Million Baby was the greatest performance by a female actor that I had ever seen. But I think here in Hamnet, Jessie Buckley at least matches the same aura as Hilary Swank did in that 2004 Clint Eastwood movie. In this film, Jessie Buckley has a look in her eyes that captures something so profound and deep, I can't even describe it. You only have to look at the photos to wonder what this facial expression means. And as I said, the raw power and passion she shows when she is in grief and mourning is so intense, you can't but feel her pain when you hear her cries and watch her tears. Jessie Buckley certainly did not hold back in Hamnet. This is truly one of the greatest acting performances I have ever seen. For some, the story of this film might feel too artsy or sentimental, but despite that, I think everyone really should see Hamnet, because I think everyone at the very least will immensely appreciate the raw passion and unrelenting energy that Jessie Buckley brings to this movie. Overall, Hamnet is an excellent, superb, must-watch film. A film that would even be hard to imagine would it even exist in 2025, given the state of the normally woke film industry. But as I said in a previous video, it seems like woke is finally well and truly on the way out. Let us hope that Hamnet marks the beginning of a new era of films. Films that are about real stories, real characters, and real emotions, rather than the regurgitated political garbage we've been handed over the past decade. Anyway, what did you think of Hamnet? Please leave your thoughts and comments below, or if you haven't seen Hamnet yet, then please go out and watch this movie. I'm sure you won't be disappointed, and please come back to let me know your thoughts when you return. See you, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.